On a seemingly ordinary college campus, what started as a night of intimidation turned into an unforgettable standoff when the infamous Steel Vipers biker gang decided to harass a quiet student. They had no idea who they were dealing with. Noah Cross wasn't just another face in the crowd. He was a former Army Ranger and black belt in jiu-jitsu, trained to handle threats far tougher than anything the gang could throw at him. They thought fear would keep him silent, but didn't realize Noah's courage ran deeper than they could imagine. The night began with Owen Lee, a shy, bookish freshman cutting through the parking lot after a late study session in the library. The Steel Vipers had taken to loitering there lately, their roaring engines and loud taunts an unsettling addition to the campus. Atmosphere, Owen clutching his backpack tightly, tried to avoid eye contact as he rushed past. "Hey kid," shouted Tyson Grizz. "Blake, the gang's towering enforcer. Where you running off to? Don't you want to hang out?" The others laughed as Owen froze, his heart racing. He turned slightly, his voice trembling. I have to go." Grizz stepped forward, blocking Owen's way. "What's the hurry? We just being friendly. Maybe we'll walk you home." Another biker snatched Owen's bag, tossing it between them like a game of way. Owen's protests were drowned out by their laughter. Noah Cross emerged from the shadows of the nearby gym, his sharp eyes assessing the situation. He'd seen the Steel Vipers around and heard tales of their harassment. Tonight, their target was clear. Without hesitation, Noah strode toward the group. "Shio!" "That's enough," Noah said, his voice calm but firm. The bikes turned, their amusement fading as they took in the figure standing before them. Noah's athletic build and steady gaze made it clear he wasn't an everyday bystander. "Who the hell are you?" sneered Vic Inharan, the gang's leader. His leather jacket bore the Steel Vipers emblem, a coiled snake surrounding a steel fist. He stepped closer, sizing up Noah. "You want to play hero?" "Just returning his bag," Noah replied, pointing toward Owen's backpack now lying on the ground. Grizz cracked his knuckles, his grin widening. "Big talk? You think you can take all of us?" Noah's face didn't waver. "I think you should walk away." The tension in the air thickened. The bikes circled Noah, their laughter replaced by silence. Owen watched, frozen in place, his fear giving way to a mix of awe and guilt. Noah was surrounded, yet he didn't flinch. Vic drew closer, his tone low and sarcastic. "You've got guts, I'll give you that, but guts don't count for much when you're outmatched. Try me," Noah said evenly. Vic lunged, throwing a punch directed at Noah's face in one fluid motion. Noah sidestepped and countered, grabbing Vic's wrist and twisting it behind his back. Vic howled in pain as Noah swept his leg out from under him, sending the gang leader sprawling onto the sidewalk. The others hesitated, their confidence shaken by how quickly their leader had been subdued. Grizz growled and charged at Noah, swinging a heavy chain. Noah ducked, his movements exact and calculated, and delivered a sharp kick to Grizz's knee, dropping the big man to the ground. "Anyone else?" Noah asked, his voice cold. The remaining bikers shared uneasy glances, unsure whether to fight or flee. Vic scrambled to his feet, his face red with fury. "Felix, this isn't over," he spat, clutching his hurt wrist. "You'll regret this." He motioned for his crew to follow, and they fled to their bikes, their engines roaring as they sped away into the night. Noah turned to Owen, who was still stuck to the spot. "You okay?" Owen nodded, his voice barely a whisper. "Thank you. I didn't know what to do. Stick to well-lit areas and don't walk alone," Noah advised. He handed Owen his backpack. "If they come back, tell campus security." Owen's face fell. "They won't do anything. Those guys don't care about rules." Noah aside. He knew Owen was probably right. The Steel Vipers lived on fear and knew how to exploit weak systems. But letting them run unchecked wasn't an option, and we'll handle it another way, Noah said. Word of the confrontation spread quickly. By morning, the campus was buzzing. A video of the standoff captured by a student named Connor Dre had gone viral. The footage showed Noah calmly facing down the steel vipers, his skill and composure leaving viewers in awe. Comments flooded in. "Who is this guy? Absolute legend." Finally, someone stood up to them. But not all the attention was positive. The video painted a target on Noah's back, and the steel vipers weren't the type to let humiliation slide. That afternoon, Vic and his crew met at a rundown warehouse on the edge of town. Vic paced rapidly, replaying the night's events in his mind. "Heck, just one guy," Gris said, wincing as he rubbed his knee. "We can take him. Not like last time," Vic snapped. "We misjudged him that. Won't happen again next time we're prepared. Back on campus!" Noah kept a low profile. He had no interest in being a hero or drawing attention. His main concern was keeping others safe, especially Owen, who had become an unknowing symbol of the Viper's intimidation tactics. Noah's military training told him to anticipate retaliation, and he spent his free time scouting the campus, noting possible choke points and blind spots. Connor Dre, meanwhile, reveled in his newfound fame. "You're famous," Connor said, catching up to Noah outside the restaurant. "Everyone's talking about the video. You're like a real-life action hero. Take it down," Noah said flatly. Connor blinked. "What?" "Why, people love it. Because it's not a game," Noah answered. "You've made this personal for them now. So that's why. We've created 3B2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and they coming back. And when they do, it won't just be me." They go, after Connor's enthusiasm faltered. "I didn't think of that. Think about it now," Noah said, walking away that evening. Noah's instincts proved correct. The steel vipers returned, their bikes rumbling ominously as they rode through campus. Students scattered at the sight of them, and Vic dismounted with a smug grin, his eyes scanning the crowd until they landed on Owen. "You didn't learn your lesson, huh?" Vic said, stalking toward him before Owen could respond. Noah appeared, stepping between them. "Leave him alone," Noah said, his voice a low growl. Vic smirked. "You've got a death wish, don't you?" "No, just a job to finish," Noah answered. This time the bikers were ready. Grizz and another member charged at Noah simultaneously. Noah sidestepped one and used the force of the other to throw him to the ground. Vic pulled a knife, slashing at Noah in a flurry of wild strikes. Noah evaded each one, his movements precise, and, deliberate in a flash, he disarmed Vic, sending the knife skittering across the pavement. The sound of sirens cut through the chaos. Campus security arrived, their lights casting an eerie glow over the scene. The bikers hesitated, their bravado faltering. Vic glared at Noah, his face twisted with rage. "This isn't over," he hissed before signaling his crew to flee. Noah stood in the wake, his chest heaving as the adrenaline ebbed. Owen approached cautiously. You didn't have to do that," Owen said, his voice thick with emotion. "But thank you," Noah nodded, his eyes distant. "No one should have to face this." Alone, in the weeks that followed, the campus took steps to address the threat. Self-defense workshops were planned, and Noah, despite his reluctance, was roped into helping lead them. Owen, inspired by Noah's courage, became an active participant, his confidence building with each session. The Steel Vipers didn't return their power. Broken by the combined efforts of the campus community for Noah, it wasn't about being a hero, it was about standing up when it mattered most, using his skills to protect others, and remind them that fear only has power if you let it. And, for Owen, it was a lesson in strength, not just the kind you find in muscles, but the kind that comes from standing together against injustice.